What up, guys? Gangstapranksta here, bringing you the weekly wrestling review for August 18th and August 25th. Yes, this is going to be a 2-week thing again, and I'm very sorry about this being really late. Like, this is really, really late compared to my other... Well, it hasn't been a weekly shit. That's it. So I want to say sorry for fucking up. I've been pretty sick the past couple days. It's either that or allergies. And if it's allergies, they're fucking kicking the shit out of me. So, I just haven't... I felt really shitty. I haven't made any videos, so I apologize. So yeah. I want to say, first off, if I might sneeze, it might sound a little stuffed up, so I want to apologize for that. So yeah, so let's just jump into the reviews, because we got a shit ton of stuff to talk about. We got reviews for ROH Boiling Point, TNA Hardcore Justice, 2 weeks of Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, NXT, Summerslam review, what else? And wrestling news, of course. So I'm gonna try and I'm gonna go through these pay-per-views, and then I'm gonna try and run through the shows real quickly. So first off, this happened like 2.5 weeks ago. ROH Boiling Point. ROH Boiling Point, to be honest, I don't think this should have been a pay-per-view. There was some good matches, but overall, like, with this card going into it, it didn't look that good. It just felt like a throwaway pay-per-view. And with Ring of Honor, when they do a pay-per-view, because they do very few pay-per-views and they're a very small company, every pay-per-view has to be fucking amazing. And I didn't feel that with this pay-per-view. So, just, like, that's what I think. Like, if Ring of Honor is going to do pay-per-view, they got to put on a fucking all-star bunch of matches. Matches people want to pay to see. A lot of these matches, I don't want to pay to see, you know? So, yeah, just overall, it was an okay pay-per-view. I'm going to go through real quick. So, first match was Roderick Strong versus Mike Mondo. It was a good match, solid opener. Roderick took that victory. Next we got a four corner survival. It was Matt Taven versus Antonio Thomas versus Vinny Margasiglia versus QT Marshall. Winner got a Ring of Honor contract. This was a pretty good match. QT Marshall wins, and he earned a Ring of Honor contract. So this was one of the matches that I definitely don't think people would want to pay to see. People pay to see 4 people they have no fucking idea who they are. Like, come on. So I definitely don't think this match should have been on the pay-per-view. Another match I don't think should have been on the pay-per-view, but was actually pretty good, was Adam Cole versus Brutal Bob. It was a pretty good match. Cole won. It's definitely better than I thought. I thought it was going to be horrible. I mean, Adam Cole's good, but Brutal Bob, you know, he's not much of a wrestler, I believe, you know. So I didn't think it was going to be that good. It was actually pretty good. It was decent, so thumbs up for that. Next, you got Charlie Haas versus Michael Elgin. This was another match. It was like, I wouldn't pay for this either. I mean, I like Charlie Haas, I like Michael Elgin, but them on a pay-per-view, like, I don't think this is a pay-per-view worthy match. Anyways, it was okay. Like, it was a very slow-paced match. Charlie Haas ended up taking the victory after Roderick Strong, you know, cost him another match. So continuing to build up towards that feud when they finally have that. So that's cool. Next we got the Briscoes taking on Steve Corino and Jimmy Jacobs. This was a good tag team match. The Briscoes won this one. Next we got Jay Lethal versus Tommaso Ciampa in a 2 out of 3 falls match. This was a good match. Now, something happened in this match. Tommaso got injured in like 10 seconds in the match. He actually tore his ACL, I believe, and that hindered him for the whole match. And it sucks because, you know, he got injured right away. Like, he went to attack Lethal, and you just saw his knee buckle, and he was fucking screaming in pain and shit. But, you know, the dude is tough as shit because he still wrestled for another 15 minutes. Like, it was fucking crazy and had a good match at that. You can tell, like, once the adrenaline started kicking in, he could actually walk on the leg. Like, at the beginning, he could barely walk on it. He was wobbling all over the place. But, you know, once he built up that momentum, that intensity, that adrenaline, that just numbs your body and you go full force to whatever you're doing. So that was fucking cool. They had a good match. Jay Lethal won. I actually recorded this with WWE 12. This should be the backdrop that's going on right now. And that match that I recorded, Tommaso Ciampa vs. Jay Lethal, was a fucking awesome match. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a very Ring of Honor style match. You know, you see I downloaded the Ring of Honor Arena. And it was just a good match. So I hope you guys enjoy that match that's going on right now. Along with some awesome wrestling commentary, you know what I'm saying? Next we got Eddie Edwards and Sarah Del Rey versus Mike Bennett and Maria in a mixed gender match. This was a good match. It was pretty fun to watch. Eddie and Sarah ended up taking the victory, so that was that. And for the main event, we have Kevin Steen versus Eddie Kingston, world title match and an anything goes match. Really good match. Kevin Steen won. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid fucking hardcore match. You know, you had Kevin Steen powerbomb Eddie Kingston through a table. Now, not through a table, like the fucking back part of the table, like where the legs come up. He powerbombed him through that, and it made it seem like there was an injury. He got carted out. And then Kevin Steen fucking said something about Larry Sweeney, who Eddie Kingston dedicated to that match to. And it was just like, holy shit, he fucking said it. And then Eddie Kingston came back, and you know they continued the match. I thought that was really good. And after the match, it got even better because two fans got in Kevin Steen's face, and he just slapped the shit out of both of them. So solid way to end the pay-per-view. It was fucking hilarious. You should never put your hands on a wrestler. Ask Chris Hero, because I believe it was Chris Hero. Some fan tried to punch him, and he fucking knocked the fan out. It was funny. Never put your hand on a wrestler. They will have full reign to beat the fucking shit out of you. So yeah, that was funny to see. So overall, it was an okay pay-per-view, solid main event, but I definitely don't recommend buying this pay-per-view. It wasn't very pay-per-view worthy. I mean, there was some good matches, but overall, I'd say pass on this one. But what you should have bought, or what you should buy, is TNA Hardcore Justice, because this was one of the best TNA pay-per-views I've seen in a long time. Like, I really enjoyed this pay-per-view going in. I was, like, really excited for this. The matches seemed pretty cool. I was just really hyped up for this pay-per-view, which I haven't been for a long time for a TNA pay-per-view. So, going into this, I was super excited. So yeah, let's go through real quick. First match was Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez taking on Kid Cash and Gunner. This was a pretty good match. Chavo and Hernandez won. Solid way to start off the pay-per-view. Next we got RVD versus Magnus versus Mr. Anderson. Falls Count Anywhere match. Originally, D'Angelo Dinero was supposed to be a part of this match, but he was taken out by Aces and Eights, so it turned into a three-way. They had a good match. RVD ended up taking that victory. Next you got Kazarian versus Devon, TV title match. Pretty good match. Devon ended up taking the win. I would have liked to see Kazarian win, because there are rumors that Team 3D, or Bully Ray and Devon, are leaving. So it would have been cool to give Kazarian the TV title, even though he's already the World Tag Team Champion. But I don't know. I'm not really a fan of people holding two belts, but in this scenario, I would have been fine with it. So yeah, pretty good match. Next we got Madison Rayne versus Brooke Tessmacher, Knockouts title match. It was an okay match. Madison wins and is the new Knockouts champion. Next we got Robbie E versus James Storm versus Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy in a four-way tables match. This was another good match. Bully Ray ended up taking the victory on this one. Next we got Kenny King versus Zema Ion for the X Division title. This was another good match. Zemo ended up taking this victory. A consistent thing on this pay-per-view. A lot of good matches. Almost all. There was nothing bad on this pay-per-view. The women's match, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay. But like, it was really good. Anyways, so we had the X Division title match. Zemo won that. Next, we got AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels in a four-way ladder match. Good match. AJ ended up taking this victory. And last but not least, we have Austin Aries versus Robert Roode. World title match. A really good match. Aries won. The ends, it was, it made it seem like Roode won. And then Earl Hebner came out and gave the title to Aries, and he ended up winning. So, solid pay-per-view. Definitely recommend checking out TNA Hardcore Justice. solid pay-per-view. Alright, now we're going to go through the results of Raw. Well, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to see if there's something interesting, and if there is, I will talk about it. So these are the results that happened 3 weeks ago. So again, I apologize for this being so. This was before SummerSlam. This was the Raw before SummerSlam. Anything good on Raw? Hold on, my Word document fucked up. Nothing pretty much to talk about except the whole Shawn Michaels Brock Lesnar thing, and Shawn getting his arm broken, in quotations, by Brock Lesnar. NXT, we had the semifinals of the NXT title tournament, Seth Rollins versus Michael McGillicuddy. That was a good match. Rollins won. That's about it. Anything on Impact? Impact. Oh, Impact, they introduced a new female referee. That she's going to be reffing all the female matches. Her name is Taryn Terrell, formerly Tiffany from WWE, also known as Drew McIntyre's wife. So she's now part of TNA, which, whatever, I don't really give a shit. What else? We had, Brooke Tessmacher won her title back, her Knockouts title. And, the Aces and Eights attacked James Storm, so finally people would get off his nuts that he wasn't the leader of Aces and Eights. Alright, now on to SmackDown. Nothing interesting. Oh, we had Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. That was a good match. And that's about it. Anything on Ring of Honor? We had Roderick Strong versus Michael Elgin. Roderick Strong and Michael Elgin versus the Bravados. That was a good match. The Bravados won that. And the main event for that was the All Night Express and Jay Lethal versus Kevin Steen, Steve Corino, and Jimmy Jacobs. That was a solid 6-man main event. Lethal and All Night Express took that. Next, you got SummerSlam. First match was Antonio Cesaro taking on Santino Marella for the U.S. title. Pretty good match. Cesaro wins and is the new U.S. champion. Good to see hit that title off of Santino. I hated it. I fucking hated it. I don't even think he should win any belts, to be honest. Maybe tag team. Maybe. They should totally do Santoshi in fucking WWE. I would love to fucking see that. They tag team. They teamed up on a SmackDown one time, and that's where I got the idea for Santoshi, and I'm like, that's a fucking great team. Why doesn't WWE do anything with that? They don't do anything with Yoshitatsu. Half the time they don't really do anything with Santino. Put them together. Throw them in a fucking tag team. Whatever. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Santino lost the U.S. title. So congratulations, Antonio Cesaro. Alright, so that was a pre-show match. The first match was Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler. Good match. Jericho won. Next we got Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Pretty good match. Daniel Bryan wins. Next you got Miz versus Rey Mysterio. An Intercontinental title match. Pretty good match. Miz wins. Nice Batman costume by Rey Mysterio. Next, we got Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio, world title match. Good match. Sheamus wins. Controversial ending with Sheamus hitting Del Rio with the boots, and then Del Rio's leg was on the ropes, but the ref didn't see it. It was whatever. It was handled on SmackDown. We'll talk about that in a second. Next, we got the Primetime Players versus R-Truth and Kofi Kingston for the tag team titles. Pretty good match. Truth and Kofi won. Funny Kobe Bryant chant broke out. I thought that was hilarious. That was funny, hinting towards, the whole Abraham Washington thing, but whatever. Next we got CM Punk versus Big Show versus John Cena, 3-way for the WWE title. Good match. CM Punk ended up taking that victory and retaining his title. And in the main event we had Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. Really good match. Brock Lesnar ended up defeating Triple H, but it was a really good match. It was really good. Overall, SummerSlam was pretty good. Should you check it out? check out the two main events: the CM Punk Big Show John Cena, and Triple H Brock Lesnar, and Jericho Ziggler. Those are all good matches. So, for the most part, you could skip the pay-per-view. Just it's two solid main events and a solid opening match. Next, we got all the shows that happened after the Summerslam. So this is the week before the one that just happened. We're going to quickly go through the results. Anything on Raw? Nothing really happened on Raw. We had a Divas Battle Royale to determine a new #1 contender. Caitlyn won. Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler in a rematch. Good match. Ziggler won. And Chris Jericho, there was a stipulation. If Chris Jericho won, he got the Money in the Bank. And if Ziggler won, Jericho was fired from WWE. So Ziggler won, so Jericho is now gone from WWE. It sucks, but I think he's going to go do stuff with his band, maybe more acting, maybe more horrible TV shows. So we'll just have to wait and see with that. And to end out the show, we had CM Punk pick his next #1 contender for the WWE title. That ended up being John Cena. So I think at Night of Champions, it's going to be John Cena versus CM Punk. And we had CM Punk, picking on Jerry Lawler and stuff, and he finally attacked him because he didn't apologize. Or he did apologize, but he didn't say Punk was the best. So Punk ended up attacking him. For NXT, anything? Oh yeah, Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel versus Michael McGillicuddy and Johnny Curtis. Good match. Tyson and Gabriel win. Good to see them appearing more as a team. Talk about, well, I don't know if we're going to talk. They're going to start appearing more as a team, I think, on SmackDown, which I think is good. I think they're an underrated tag team. They're not even really a tag team. They're just two guys that they put together, and, it worked well. Actually, they did see... can you consider them a team? They've been teaming for a while now. They teamed at the WrestleMania pre-show. It was the Usos, them, and Epico and Primo, I think. So yeah, whatever. They're a team. Whatever. And to end out this show, we had an interview with Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal. They're in the finals for the NXT World Title. I would have, I would have liked to seen the finals of the NXT World Title, the title tournaments, actually be at SummerSlam. It would mean something. They want to push this title as it's important. All the future upcoming stars are going to hold this title. And why not showcase that on SummerSlam? I know nobody probably knows who Seth Rollins is. Maybe they know who Jinder Mahal is because he's appeared on Raw and SmackDown. But I think it's because they don't really, no one really watches NXT compared to Raw and SmackDown. So no one would really know who the fuck Seth Rollins was. But I would have liked to seen that on SummerSlam. Made the title mean something. But I think it's going to be on the next NXT. Next was Impact, and this was another open fight night gut check challenge. It started out with Sting and a ton of guys that called out aces and eights. Two guys come out and got the shit beat out of them by all the TNA roster, and they appeared saying it's going to be a long night. Brooke Tessmacher versus Tara, okay match. Tara wins. RVD, AJ Styles, and Robbie E in a three-way, good match. Robbie E wins. Next we got Jeff Hardy versus Rob Terry, okay match. Hardy wins. Oh, fucking shit. Yes, this is something I want to talk about. The paternity test. They finally ended this horrendous storyline. The whole Claire Lynch thing. So Daniels and Kazarian come out and say AJ is going to be a bad father and stuff like that. Claire's lawyer comes out and says Daniels and Kazarian hired Claire to pretend to be pregnant so they can blackmail AJ. So she was never pregnant, whatever. As much as I hate Claire, she should have been there. I think she should have been there. It would have added more to the whole segment. But I think it's just funny how they buried the shit out of her. AJ's like, man, I would have never had sex with her unless I was drunk. I was like, oh my god, that's funny as shit. And for those of you who don't know, it's being rumored that, it's being reported that people figured out her real identity. She's actually a horrible actor and a model. Don't ask me how. I don't make this shit up. I just read it and fucking report on it. Anyway, she is an actor, model, whatever. And TNA hired her to do this, and she did a horrible fucking job. And once people found out about her identity, they started to send her nasty emails and shit, and just telling her she's a horrible actor and she's a whore and shit like that. So she decided to quit. So they had to stop the whole storyline. I am thankful that she quit, because the storyline's over with. I do want to know what Daniels and Kazarian are going to do next, because remember, they still are the tag team champions. They don't defend them, but they're the tag team champs. Same thing with Eric Young and ODB. They're the Knockouts, titles, tag team champions, whatever. They never fucking defend those things. They haven't been defended since lockdown. Shit, that's been like 3-4 months. Holy fuck, now that I think about it. So anyways, thank God, Ding Dong, the witch is gone. Claire Lynch gone from TNA, thank fucking God. I don't know what they're going to do next with AJ. Hopefully they move on from Daniels and Kazarian and AJ. Maybe AJ can win the fucking Battle Royale. Not the Battle Royale, the Bound for Glory tournament. Maybe take on Austin Aries at Bound for Glory. Holy fuck, how awesome would that be? You know, we'll just have to wait and see. Next, we got a gut check contender. It was Chris Louis taking on Gunner. This was an okay match. It was actually pretty bad. Gunner ended up taking the victory. And if this guy gets a motherfucking contract, I'm done. I'm fucking done. There's no credibility left in this fucking gut check thing. Yeah, that's just stupid. They finally gave an update on Alex Silva, because they're like, oh yeah, we hired a bunch of these guys, but forgot what to do with them. So they finally updated Alex Silva. You know, he's in OVW training. But what about Taylor Hendricks? What about Sebastian Shaw? What about Joey Ryan? Is he ever going to appear again? I don't fucking know. He might appear next week when they do the whole fucking, he gets a contract, he doesn't get a contract, blah, 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 blah. But if Chris Louis gets a contract, I am done. I'm fucking done. I'm done. It doesn't mean shit. Next, you got Mr. Anderson versus Bully Ray. Good match. Anderson wins. And for the main event segments, we had Sting and the whole roster come out. They called out Aces and Eights again. A bunch of Aces and Eights guys come out. A huge brawl erupts. People brawling in the ring, outside the ring, backstage. Finally, it ends with a bunch of Aces grabbing Aries' arm and hitting it with a chair. And we don't know if his arm is injured or what. I think it's kind of funny that Brock Lesnar took out Shawn Michaels and Triple H with their arms, and then Aces and Eights does the same thing to Eric Young. Fucking give Aries a concussion, you know? Break his leg, break his ankle, do something. Why the arm? Why? There's so many other body parts. So yeah, maybe, I hope to God Aries does not have to fucking forfeit his world title, and just, it would ruin his whole reign as champion. I hope to God that doesn't happen, but I don't know. TNA has been on a good streak as of late. They gotta fuck up sometime, so this might be it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Next we got SmackDown. Anything worthy to talk about? Heath Slater picked up his first victory in like a couple months. That's cool. That's about it. Nothing too important happened on SmackDown. Just same old shit, pretty much. Next, we got Ring of Honor TV. We got Sarah Del Rey versus Mia Yim. Pretty good match. Sarah wins. Next, we got R-Truth. Or not R-Truth. Rhino and Truth Martini. I saw Rhino and I saw Truth, and I combined the two. I'm like, R-Truth. What? Wrong promotion. Anyways, R-Truth and Rhino and Truth Martini come out, and Truth calls out Jim Cornette. Cornette comes out, and Truth says Rhino could beat Steen and become the world champ. Eddie Edwards comes out and says he can do it. Cornette makes a match between the two, so we got Eddie Edwards versus Rhino. Good match. Rhino wins, so he will be taking on Kevin Steen, and I think Death Before Dishonor. I think that's the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and that's actually a solid main event. I mean, I liked Eddie Kingston and what's it called? Eddie Kingston and Kevin Steen. That's a solid main event, but I am looking forward to Kevin Steen versus Rhino. And speaking of Kevin Steen, he was in the main event, taking on Homicide in a world title match. Good match. Kevin Steen wins and retains his Ring of Honor world title. So good for him. Next, we got some wrestling news. First off, another injury to Rey Mysterio. It just seems every time this guy wants to come back and do something, he gets injured. This time, thank God, it's not a knee injury, so he won't be out for that long. But he did suffer concussion, so he should be out for a couple weeks, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month. But holy shit. Is it time for Rey Mysterio to retire? He's getting old. A lot of injuries happening to him. So it might be time to hang it up. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. If he comes back and gets injured again, that's a tall tale sign that he should probably hang it up. But I do enjoy seeing Rey Mysterio, so that would suck. Next, the WWE 13 roster was revealed during Summerslam weekends. And I'm going to throw my 2 cents in there. So, overall, the roster looks pretty shitty. I'm not gonna lie. It looks pretty shitty. The Attitude Era side of things, looks pretty good. But like, I just don't like all the fucking duplicates. Like, there's 3 Triple H's. I think there's 3 Undertakers. It's like, really, do we need 3 Triple H's and Undertakers? Like, okay, I get duplicates. I get Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And then I get the Triple H from now. 2 different people. They do different shit, blah, 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 blah. But, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of duplicates. I'm not liking it. There's, like, 2 Mark Henrys, 2 Bradshaws, 2 Edge, 2 Christian, I think 2 Big Shows, 3 Undertakers, 2 Rocks, 2 Triple H's, 2 Stone Colds, 2 John Cenas. Just, it's going to be a big roster, but all for the wrong reasons, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, it seems like it was a cop-out with the roster with all the duplicates, so, whatever. Attitude Era, like, normal roster-wise, it seems okay. There is a couple people missing that I think should be added to the roster, and I'll be fucking damned. I'm not going to pay DLC for these characters that should be in the game. Guys like Alex Riley, Kurt Hawkins, Drew McIntyre, Evan Bourne, the Usos, Michael McGillicuddy, Tyson Kidd, Yoshitatsu. They're not in the game. They're not in the game. Unless they didn't announce them, like, oh, we forgot about these lower guys. Let's not even announce them. So that really fucking sucks. If I have to pay for them for DLC, that is really fucking shitty. Right now there's 2 DLCs announced, Damian Sandow and AJ. Those are going to be DLC. Damian Sandow, I understand. AJ, I don't think she should be DLC. Usually THQ likes to put all the divas as fucking DLC, which I think is horseshit. Give us all the fucking divas. Don't make us pay for them. Don't make us pay for people who should be in the game. Guys like Lord Tenzai, Damian Sandow, Ryback, Antonio Cesaro, I get it. They should be DLC. They came later on. Like, usually about April, that's usually the cutoff for the roster. That's the finalized roster. They might add some people, but anybody that debuts after that, I see as DLC. Like, guys like Tenzai, Sando, Cesaro, Ryback, who else? Just guys like that have debuted later. Should definitely be DLC, but I don't want to pay for guys that should be in the fucking game and they got kept off for I don't know why. Like, I'm not gonna pay for a fucking Usos, you know, they should be in the game. So if that shit happens, I'll be pretty pissed off. Attitude Era wise, I think they did a solid job. You got guys like the APA, the Godfather, Ken Shamrock, all of D-Generation X except China, Big Boss Man. I'm just mentioning the guys that haven't really been in a WWE game. You know, you got your regulars like Mankind, Stone Cold, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. I think I mentioned him already. But yeah, it's good to see guys like Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, X-Pac, they're in the game. Godfather, I mentioned him before. Big Boss Man, Ken Shamrock, British Bulldog. I'm pretty excited Attitude Era-wise. There are a couple names that are missing that I would have liked to seen. Guys like Too Cool, Gangrel. I mean, a lot of people wanted the Hardys and the Dudleys, but you got to realistically look at it. That's not possible. They're all part of TNA, and that just wouldn't be able to happen. So overall, I think it's an okay roster. I'm not a big fan of all the duplicates. DLC wise, I don't know. Just don't make me pay for characters that should be in the fucking game, because that is fucking retarded. But anyways, you can go check out the roster at thhq.com/roster, and you can go take a look at the Attitude Era, the current superstars like Brodus Clay and stuff. And yeah, so overall, those are my opinions on that. And last but not least, we have one more news thing. Tyler Rex has been granted his release from WWE. He wasn't fired. He chose to leave to take care of his daughter. You got to commend a guy like that. Another guy that I know that did that I was really disappointed, because I thought he could be a huge superstar. But, he went to go take care of his family. Was Monty Brown, the alpha male Monty Brown, Marcus Corvon. I just thought I loved him. I fucking loved Monty Brown, and I thought he was at like the top of his career, but he had to leave for personal reasons to go take care of his family. So you got to commend a guy like that, and Tyler Rex doing the same thing. It kind of sucks, because I was really enjoying him and Hawkins as a team, but family is more important than wrestling, sadly. And he went to go take care of his daughter. I don't know about his personal issues, but I know that was said. He was going to go take care of his daughter. So, that sucks for Tyler Rex. Hopefully we can see him in the future on WWE, maybe in a year or something. I don't know, but definitely going to miss him. And now, what are they going to do with Kurt Hawkins? I have no idea. Maybe I would like to see him team back up with Zack Ryder. He's not really doing anything as well, so throw them together. Let's relive some magic, those edgeheads. So that's just my opinion. Sad to see him go, but he's going for a good reason. He's not. I don't think he's going to be going to TNA, but I'm not going to rule anything out. So yeah, that was it for the weekly wrestling review. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I'm sorry it was so late. Expect the newest weekly wrestling review coming out very soon. I say Wednesday at the latest. So my schedule right now is this weekly wrestling review should come out Monday, and then I'm hoping to have a Universe Mode Tuesday, the other weekly wrestling review Wednesday, and then another Universe Mode on Thursday. So that's the schedule I have planned. Hopefully I can stick to it. And yeah, so I want to thank you guys for watching. Come back next time where we have reviews for Raw, Smackdown, Impact, NXT, Ring of Honor, and I'll actually be reviewing the first WWE what's it called? Saturday Morning Slam. This was asked of me, and it seemed very goofy and bad. So I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to give you my review. So come back next time. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry about posting this so late. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.